Hello students, today we are going to learn about the data link layer next property. So let's start with our next property, which is error control. In the error control in data link layer, process of error control is to detecting and correcting the data frames. It means if any error is happened or if any error is occurred or data frames are corrupted or lost during the transmission, that will be found with the help of some techniques. Those techniques we call it as a retransmission techniques, or it is a process of automatic repeat request, which is ARQ process. In case of a lost or corrupted frames, the receiver does not receive the correct data or a message to the receiver side. For that, we use some techniques in the data link layer to detect the transmitted errors and take the necessary action on that error. That process of losing of frames is called it as automatic repeat request, which is ARQ. So what are the frames or phases used in error control to correct the error? So there are multiple phases are used in the error control. First is detection of error. First of all, we are supposed to detect that error, which line, which bit has corrupted or error is found or detected in the frame. That is very much important to detect the error. Second phase is acknowledgement. Acknowledgement should be a positive acknowledgement or negative acknowledgement. Acknowledgement, as you know, that acknowledgement should be a uh, giving the response to the sender or the receiver. So, in the acknowledgement, when the positive ACK, which is a short form of acknowledgement, is given to the receiver sides to sender side, it means receiver receives the data. But if the negative acknowledgement is found, then the data could not be sent properly to the receiver side and the duplicate frame should be delivered by the sender side. Okay, so these two types of acknowledgement is present in the error control phases. Next is retransmission. If the any negative acknowledgement is occurred or given by the receiver side, then we can give a retransmission process. In that retransmission, we send the frames again to the receiver side to complete the error, to control the error. These are the phases of error control. I hope you understand that error control phases are having some types like detection of error, acknowledgement, which is positive or negative, or retransmission. Okay, so there are three main techniques which we have to learn in the error control technique. First is stop and wait ARQ. Second is go and back ARQ, and third is selective repeat ARQ. These three techniques are asked in the exam very oftenly. So let's have discuss on stop and wait ARQ. This is a protocol involves for following transitions. First of all, timeout counter is mainly used in the stop and wait ARQ. It means sender and receiver has their own sender has their own frames. When sender sends the frame, when the receiver receives that frame, he just gives the acknowledgement to the sender. If sender could not receive any type of acknowledgement, he could not send a next frame without acknowledgement. If frame 1 is properly sent to the receiver side, then and sender gets that acknowledgement that frame 1 is received, then and then only sender sends the second frame. Otherwise, sender could not be sent. If that acknowledgement or positive acknowledgement had not come to the sender side, then he again sends that frame to the receiver side. This is nothing but the stop and wait ARQ. So it is very important that sender should get the negative or positive acknowledgement in the stop and wait ARQ. Next is go and back ARQ. In the go back and ARQ, the working principle of this protocol is to sender has the buffer calling sending windows. It has a sending window buffer where it has a multiple frames present in the buffer or sending windows. He can send one by one of frames without receiving any acknowledgement of previous ones. He sends receiver receives one by one all frames. After that, receiver gives the acknowledgement to the sender of each and every frame. Sender has receives the positive acknowledgement of all the frames, then he sends the next set of frames. But if he could not get or receives the acknowledgement, positive acknowledgement, or he gets the NCK, which is a negative acknowledgement, then what he did, he just sends all the frames that he previously sent to the receiver side. Understood? That sender has his own sending window. It has many multiple messages to send. While sending, he sends to the receiver side. He sends all the messages. Receiver receives all those messages, and receiver sends positive acknowledgement to the sender side. If he could not get any acknowledgement or he get all the acknowledgement, he can proceed further to send a next set of frames. But if it happens that he get some negative acknowledgement from the frame number 3, then what he did, after frame number 2, he sends all the frames again to the receiver side. This is nothing but the go and back ARQ. Third one is select repeat ARQ. Both the sender and receiver side has buffer, which is nothing but the sending windows. In the go and back, only the sender side has the sending window, but in the select and ARQ, both sender and receiver has the respective windows. Both has sends the multiple frames and receiving the acknowledgement. If any frame is not sent properly, receiver sends a negative acknowledgement and sender just repeat that frame only. If the frame number 3 is not sent properly to the receiver side, then sender has to repeat only the frame number 3 to the receiver side. This is nothing but the today's lecture. So let's conclude today's lecture. So today we are learn about the error control in data link layer. Data link layer is the process of detecting and correcting the data frames that have been corrupted or lost in the uh, during transmission. During transmission, if the data frames are lost, then that will be corrected in the data link layer. There are some phases that we learned is detection of error, acknowledgement, positive and negative acknowledgement. This is very much important. That's to learn a technique present of controlling the error, which is stop and wait ARQ, go and back ARQ and select repeat ARQ. In the stop and wait ARQ, the sender should use a time counter and he just wait to get the acknowledgement from the receiver side whether it is positive or negative. Go back and ARQ. Sender should have the sending windows. He just sends the all the frames and he just wait to get the all the acknowledgements from the receiver side. If he found that some frames are um, not received properly by the receiver side, then he just repeat all those frames again to the receiver side. Since repeated, then selective repeat ARQ. In this, both the sender and receiver has its own sending windows. When a sender just sends the frames, and after sending all the frames, receiver receives. If it receives all the frames, he just gives the positive acknowledgement, and if he never get any of the frame or just corrupted frame he get, then he just gives the NCK, which is nothing but the negative acknowledgement, and sender should send only that frame to the receiver side. This is nothing but the today's lecture. I hope you all understand. Go through with the lectures and let me know whether you understand or not. Thank you.